What's up, my Central Units? It's the Central Man here, so back again with another WCW pay-per-view review. So we're going to the year of 1996. This show I'm reviewing is the climax of a rivalry between Hulk Hogan and the Dungeon of Doom. That is Uncensored 96 at the Tupelo Coliseum. Right now it's called the Bangkok South Arena in Tupelo, Mississippi on the 24th of March 1996. The attendance for the show was 9,000. This show received about 250,000 pay-per-view buys, an upgrade than the first uncensored show from the previous year in 1995 that truly kicked off the WCW NWA pay-per-view review segments. Uncensored 1995, wow, I really kicked off this segment. That was memorable for band matches. The King of the Road match that got Blacktop Bully and Dustin Rhodes fired. A boxing match between Johnny B. Bad versus Arn Anderson. A martial arts match between Jim Duggan and Ming. We had Randy Savage taking on, I think it was Avalanche. That is John Tenta, by the way. I think it was Avalanche or Shark. that was led to the return of Ric Flair, Sting versus Big Bubba, and the leather strap match between Hulk Hogan and Vader. And also, you had the debut of the Renegade, the Ultimate Warrior ripoff, played by, what was his name, Rick Wilson, rest in peace. Anyway, so, is this show better than Uncensored 95? Unfortunately, no, we'll get to the final rating of the show at the end of this review. Yeah, Uncensored 96 is memorable for the main event, the Doomsday Cage match. We'll get to that match later on in this review. Anyway, the commentators for the show are Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Dusty Rhodes. Before we get to the main show, or actually the first match to kick off the show, there's matches on main event or filmed for main event. They're kind of like dark matches. They were basically filmed for main event or Saturday night main event. So you had like Dean Malenko taking on Mr. JL, Jerry Lynn. The Steiners taking on the Nasty Boys. Anyway, so the first match to kick off the show, we got Conan defending the WCW United States title, the only title match on this show. Yeah, Uncensored 95 haven't got a single title match on that show. That really why that show got a crap buy rate. This show has a better buy rate. That's not saying too much. Anyway, so yeah, he defends the belts against Eddie Guerrero. This was good. This was still in the middle of Conan's one and only United States title reign. I don't think he won another United States title in his run in WCW. He stayed until the end of WCW's run, I think, when the company went under in 2001. Anyway, the match between Conan and Eddie Guerrero, it was good. It was a match style. You got some of Lucha Libre style, but it's more of a technical style, ring style type of match I really like. Back and forth, Conan and Eddie are good workers. Conan, I think at this moment in time, was a road agent in WCW. I think he was, he's a wrestler, and also I think he was a road agent in WCW. Hiring guys like Rey Mysterio and Psychosis, building the building blocks of the Cruiserweight division that'll be later on, in the year. And a bit of a trivia, Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son, is the godson of Conan. Anyway, yeah, it was a good match. In the end, Conan got the victory over Eddie Guerrero. So, yeah, good. It was a good match to kick off the show. The pacing was a bit slow. It's just what it is. It's in the pre-Cruiserweight era of WCW. Yeah, the ending was a bit Yeah, basically the announcer saying Eddie got low blow. He hit a leg drop onto Conan, but Conan, it wasn't a low blow. Anyway, so Conan just pinned him, and that was it. So yeah, Conan and Eddie are baby faces. Conan picked up Eddie to his feet, and that was it. So the next match, we got Lord Steven Regal taking on the Belfast Bruiser. the Belfast Bruiser is Fit Finlay. I'm going to call him Fit Finlay for this review. I think they fought. I don't think they had a match in WWE a decade later, because they were the future member of the King Court. That was in 2006. That was King Booker's faction at the time when Booker T was the world champion. Anyway, so the match between the Belfast Bruiser and Lord Steven Regal, Fit Finlay and Steven Regal. It's funny, in our current timeline, William Regal debuted at AEW's Revolution. Now I'm reviewing a Regal match for this. I reviewed Regal matches in the past. In this timeline in the 90s. Anyway, so this was good. I really like this match between Finlay and Regal. Good chemistry. Two good workers. It was hard hitting. Finlay hit Regal with a stiff punch. Regal broke his nose in the process. I think Regal suplex Finlay off the ring into the floor. Luckily there's a mat. It's not 1992 Bill Watts era. And followed with a elbow off the ring apron. That was cool. It was hard hitting, and in the end, the match ended in disqualification. Regal's fellow Blue Blood members, that is Dave Taylor, and Earl Robert Eaton, that's the late Bobby Eaton, came out, attacked Finlay, that cost the DQ, and that was it. Uncensored, I don't get the concept of Uncensored. I'm guessing it's everything goes type of pay-per-view. And this match ended in disqualification. It's just what the hell? It's just weak. But besides that, I really like this match. After the first two matches on the show, Conan versus Eddie for the United States title and Finlay versus Regal, the show went downhill. Absolute downhill. So the next match, we got Colonel Robert Parker taking on Medusa. Robert Parker... Colonel Robert Parker or Tennessee Lee. I done my research on him. He was a manager, but he had wrestling. He's not like an unexperienced wrestler. He's not unexperienced. He did wrestle, in the 70s and 80s before becoming a manager. So this rivalry, is more between Medusa and Sister Sherry, aka Sensational Sherry. Medusa cost Sherry they interrupted the wedding in kayfabe. They got married in kayfabe. Robert Parker and Sherry. Medusa. I'm guessing this is Medusa's first WCW pay-per-view match, because she debuted on Nitro the previous year in 1995. I think it was November time. She entered Nitro as the WWF Women's Champion. She put the women's title in the trash. So, and she was feuding with, Sister Sherry and Robert Parker. So, yeah, I think in Robert Parker's corner, you got Dirty Dick Slater. The match was just, it just made Medusa like a joke. Robert Parker, lifted up Medusa because did the helicopter spin, but Medusa counted into I think it was a something powerbomb or. So yeah, the match was nothing much. In the end, you had Dirty Dick Slater help Robert Parker defeat Medusa. I think she was going for a roll up, but Dick Slater tripped her up, and then Parker just basically pinned Medusa for the win. That was just it. Yeah, and Medusa went on to fight for I think she fought the Josie wrestlers in '96 and then '97. For the women's title, and then she never became the women's champion, and then the only title for Medusa in WCW was the Cruiserweight title in the year 2000. Fighting Ed Ferrara, doing the Jim Ross, fucking impression, Oklahoma, Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on. So, the next match, you got the final 5 matches, they got some build, the 2 matches, Conan and Eddie, and Finlay and Regal, they're just bonus matches with no build. It was added to the card at the last minute, I guess. Anyway, so the next match we got the Booty Man. That is Ed Leslie with the Booty Babe. That is Kimberly taking on Diamond Dallas Page. So here's the story. So in '95, DDP is now poor. So, you know, in the previous year, DDP was doing the whole arm wrestling thing, winning a lot of money. Then on Great American Bash 95, he lost the arm wrestling match to Dave Sullivan. That's Kevin Sullivan's kayfabe brother. This is he was doing the whole the autism disability gimmick. That was a decade before Eugene Nick Desmond doing it. So Kimberly cost DDP that arm wrestling match. So for months, you know, DDP treated Kimberly like shit, and then Kimberly turned on DDP, teaming up with Johnny B. Bad. So, and also, I've done my research before preparing for this review. Originally, it was supposed to be fit. Unfortunately, the original match was supposed to be, you know, Johnny B. Bad versus DDP for the TV title again. But unfortunately, he left not early prior to the show. He left a few weeks before the show. You know, he dropped the TV title to Luger on an episode of Saturday Night Main Event after DDP hits Johnny B. Bad with the Diamond Cutter. So, yeah, Mark Merrow went to the WWF, taking his real-life wife, Sable, at the time, she's married to Brock Lesnar, and the rest is history. Anyway, so, the Booty Man, I don't get it, and this is Ed Leslie's worst gimmicks. I don't know, it's basically, he was spanking his ass. This is before, people talk about the New Day doing it, you know, like Kofi, you know, Xavier Woods, Big E Langston doing the whole spanking the ass, tossing pancakes. He was doing it in '96, Ed Leslie's gimmick, the Booty Man. It's just completely stupid at the time, and he was the Zodiac, but instead he was working with Hogan. You know, he was a triple agent. Yeah, spanking his own buttocks. That's a gay gimmick. I'm not saying he's gay. You know, he's got a wife and a daughter, but I'm talking about the gimmick is gay. Anyway, the match was boring, completely tuned out. In the end, DDP, and also the stipulation is that if DDP wins this match, actually I'll get to the stipulation in a couple seconds. So I'll get to the end of this match. So in the end, DDP gives Kimberly the kiss, the booty babe, you know, and then Kimberly, the booty babe, smacked DDP in the face. Why that's not a DQ? They just DQ'd the Finlay Regal match from earlier. In the end, Booty Man hit DDP with the high knee. It's just basically a butt joke, you know, high knee, it's your ass, but it's the high knee, they call it the high knee. Get it? Oh my god, so anyway, so he hit the high knee onto DDP for the win. Oh yeah, the stipulation is that if DDP wins, he gets his money back and he gets Kimberly back. If he loses, he must retire. So DDP retired. You won't see DDP again in WCW. You won't see DDP in a WCW ring ever again. That is bullshit. He stayed around until the end of WCW's run in 2001. He came back, I think, 2 months later at Slamboree. I think he won the Battle Royal. It's their version of the Royal Rumble. I think he won a diamond ring. You know, I think it's a Battle Ball diamond ring. It's called. And yeah, and he gets a shot at the world title, but he didn't get that. He won the world title in 1999. So, I'm trying to keep it short and simple of these final few matches of the show. So, the next match we got the Giant with Jimmy Hart in the Giant's corner, taking on Loch Ness. Loch Ness is, for all you old school British wrestling fans, is Giant Haystacks. He feud with Big Daddy in, Big Daddy. I think it was Big Daddy and the. I think it was Big Daddy. Most of his career, you know, in Britain. This is his only pay-per-view match in America. He was part of the Dungeon of Doom, but you know, for Jimmy Hart, he said in an interview that he was supposed to be in the Doomsday Cage match, but instead Jimmy Hart and kayfabe pull him out of his League of Attorneys. So they really kicked him out of the group for, you know, I don't know what reason it is. Anyway, so the match was short for the best because Giant was still inexperienced. Loch Ness, Giant Haystacks, he was known for his size, for his height, but he ain't that great, you know. He was in his 50s at this time, so, yeah, Giant, Big Show did a promo, you know, he said, I think he said, like, I can speak in rhymes, I can speak in riddles, Loch Ness in that ring, I'm gonna smoke you on Bickle in the grizzle. That was a good promo, by the way. And anyway, so yeah, Giant. It was kind of like a corner splash, but he went over the ring post, outside the ring. That was cool. You don't see Big Show, Paul White doing that. You know, he was a bit. It was back then. He was a bit slimmer, yeah, and he's running WWE. Years later, he was a bit fatter. He's a bit slimmer right now. He's looking after his body. He's not really wrestling anymore. He's just kind of like on. I think he's a commentator now. Doing the AEW Dark Elevation shows. Anyway, so in the end, Giant hit Loch Ness with the leg drop for the win. Yeah, this was like I said, this is Giant Haystack's first and only pay-per-view appearance in America, pay-per-view match in America. I done my research that he left the company due to he suffered he contracted lymphoma. I'm guessing that's cancer. And on the sad news, he died 2 years later with cancer at the age of 52. So, and this is for the winner faced the WCW World Champion Ric Flair. The following night on Nitro, Giant wins. He went on to fail to win the world title against Ric Flair on Nitro. I cover that Nitro on this channel. Come check out for yourself. So it's just what it is. Anyway, so the next match we got the Chicago Street Fight. We got Sting and Booker T taking on the Road Warriors. That is Hawk and Animal. Sting is one half of the WCW Tag Team Champions. Luger was pulled out due to the Jimmy Hart's team of attorneys. So to pull him out, pull Luger out of this match. So Luger is in this match, not in this match, but interfered in this match in the end. So Booker T, Sting and Booker T teaming together. I think Sting and Luger are the tag team champions. Harlem Heat was pursuing the tag team titles. So I'm guessing like Booker T says, "I help you. You give Harlem Heat a shot at the tag team titles." So the match between Sting, Booker T, and the Road Warriors, boring. This was half an hour. I looked on the Wikipedia page. This was boring as fuck. I was completely tuned out of this, man. Very boring. You had Sting hitting, I think it was Hawk or Animal with brooms. Yeah, this was not a good match. And then they had this split screen. They were fighting backstage, and then I think it was Animal trying to hit Booker T, but instead he accidentally hit Luger instead. He's preparing for the main event. And then I think he fell onto a table full of coffees. I hope it's like cold coffees. He's not like he's got scalded with the hot coffees. And then you had Luger says, "Look at me, Jimmy. Look at me." He ended up attacking Animal, helping. And he had Stevie Ray, who's not in this match, helping Luger to assault Animal. And then in the end, I think it was it was Animal. And then and then Stevie Ray came outside the ring, hit Hawk in the chair, hit Hawk in the back with the chair, and then Booker T pins. I think he hit him with a super kick, and Booker T and Sting won this match, and that was it. So I don't think they won. I don't think they won the tag team title. I don't think they had that match. Sting and Luger versus Harlem Heat, and and then Jimmy Hart basically bought out Harlem Heat, give them money instead of facing Sting and Luger. It's just what it is, but it's just what it is, man. So it's just an ugly match, it's just a boring match to watch. And speaking of another boring match, moving on to the main event. The main event, we got the Doomsday Cage match. We got Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, the Mega Powers, taking on the Alliance to end Hulkamania. I said I got it wrong. I say the Alliance to destroy Hulkamania, but I wish they'd call the Alliance to destroy Hulkamania. Destroy and end, they're kind of like the same word. So who's represent the Alliance to end Hulkamania? So we got the WCW World Champion Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, the Enforcer of the Four Horsemen, Ming, the Barbarian. Ming and Barbarian, I'm guessing they start as a tag team. They become, the Powers of Pain in WCW. They were a tag team, and then you got Lex Luger, who's one half of the WCW Tag Team Champion, and also he was the TV champion. We got the Taskmaster and I'm guessing the leader of the Dungeon of Doom, Kevin Sullivan. Z Gangster, the late Tiny Lister. Yeah, he was Zeus in the WWF slash No Holds Barred, the movie. And the Ultimate Solution. I'll get to that. That was his new name. I'll get to his original name shortly. The Ultimate Solution. His name is Robert Swenson, or Jeep. Friends call him Jeep because his dad was a soldier. He drives a Jeep. He was a stuntman, a bodybuilder, and he did have a run in pro wrestling. He wrestled in World Class Championship Wrestling in the late 80s. Yeah, the original name for the Ultimate Solution is, he was originally called the Final Solution, but they kind of changed the name of his name because of Swenson's character. Because oopsie, if you know about the Final Solution, it's a reference of World War II. It's a name after when Hitler's plans to eliminate the Jews. Oopsie. Yeah, it's just basically like, yeah, the Final Solution, and also oopsie, that's Hitler's, name, plan to exterminate the Jews. Oh shit. So yeah, the Ultimate Solution, that's his new name. Yeah, it's just, well, it's controversial because, it's really pissed off Jewish people. Because that would reference Hitler's plan to kill the Jews. Anyway, so let's talk about the Doomsday Cage match. Fucking sucked. Sorry. The match shit. It's very boring. You had Hogan and Savage have to fight on the top of the cage. I'm guessing you have to start at the top, you have to win this match to escape the cage. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So you had Flair and Anderson, Arn Anderson. He was wearing some tracksuit bottoms. He looked like his dad going out for a morning jog. Yeah, it was very boring. They can't really do anything in the cage. It was just punch, kick type of match, and throwing powders. And then you got Ming, Barbarian, Luger, Taskmaster in another room. And then in the final room, you have Z Gangster, Tiny Lister, and Swenson, the Ultimate Solution. Boring as fuck. And also, it was very confusing because when Hogan and Savage got out of the cage on the ground floor, I thought that was the end of the match. Unfortunately, nope. They're fighting outside the ring, fighting in the ring. This was getting confusing. I'm guessing for WCW, trying to make the fans guessing how do you win this match. I'm sorry, fucking stupid. And then also you had Booty Man came to the cage, giving Hogan and Savage some frying pans. Where's the banana cream pie, the boulders on mechanism, same as the anvils. It's just where's the fucking dynamite? Jesus Christ, I understand why they're doing this. The Mega Powers reunites, they're trying to capture the golden years of the Hulkamania era of the WWF in the 1980s into the mid-90s WCW. This is mid-90s, by the way. They're trying to. It's just pro wrestling living in the past. Wrestling got edgier years to come. In the late 90s. Trust me. But it's just basically just WCW trying to capture what WWF did in the 1980s. The late 1980s. It doesn't really work because it's mid-90s. It's in the mid-90s. It's 1996. It's going back to the past. Anyway, so Luger putting on a black glove. I'm guessing the black glove is referencing the OJ case. He's supposed to hit Savage in the face with the black glove, but instead he accidentally punched Ric Flair in the face. And that probably set up a match on Nitro. That was a couple weeks later. I don't think Luger explained why he did hit Ric Flair. I don't know if it's purposely or accidentally. This was getting fucking stupid. In the end, Hogan and Savage won this match. Hogan ends the 18-month feud. Basically 18-month feud because he feuded with Sullivan in 1994, the Face of Fear, and then the Face of Fear became the Dungeon of Doom. And that was it. So, fucking shit match. 25 minutes. So, anyway, so as for the Ultimate Solution, Robert Swenson, he never lasts long. So, you know, he left after this match. You never seen Sea Gangster, you know, Zeus, Tiny Lister ever again. Same as Robert Swanson. He had a gig in, he had a run in boxing. In the following year, in 1997, he, you know, I think he pursued career in acting. He became Bane in the, you know, he was a body, he was, yeah, he was part of No Holds Barred, and then he plays James Caan's bodyguard, and then also he plays Bane. Yeah, he was in Bulletproof. That was Adam Sandler's film, and also he plays Bane. Yeah, like I said, Bane in the 1997 Batman and Robin film. That guy was George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Truman, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then sadly, the same year, Robert Swanson died. He died at the age of 40. I think he died of a heart attack. I think it was he was using steroids. I think it was a substance of steroids over his career because he was a former bodybuilder. And I think his body in his funeral they like messed with his bicep before he's cremated. Cremated. I'm trying to say. So I'll get to my final ratings in a little bit. I heard like Sullivan said in an interview years ago that I thought it was just typical Hogan bullshit. Yeah, Hogan, it's basically Hogan slayed the dragon. You know, people talk about Super Cena. John Cena will probably jizz his pants of watching this match. So basically, like Hogan and Sullivan was in on it. You know, it was supposed to be like a 2-on-2. I think it was supposed to be a 2-on-2 match. You know, just a normal tag team steel cage match. But instead, Hogan wants to stack the odds against him, and Hogan's like mindset, it works. And then yeah, the Doomsday Cage match, it was very confusing. You know, if they got it correctly, explain the rules, you can tell that could be the predecessor to Elimination Chamber, predecessor to the Hell in a Cell match that'll be, that was created in 1997, or a different version of War Games. This is, I know it's a predecessor, I'm guessing this is the predecessor to the Punjabi prison match. You know, it's so confusing. Like I said, it's just making, WCW want to make sure, it's basically letting the fans guessing what's going to happen or how you win this match, you know. Yeah, they won by pinfall submission, but they never explain how to win. Did you, like, basically pinfall submission or skip the cage? It's just like, what the hell? So, anyway, so my final rating for Uncensored 1996. Boy, I'm going to give this, man, I was giving it to 3 out of 10. Fucking piss poor of a pay-per-view, you know. I'd rather skip this pay-per-view I skip this pay-per-view for all time. Sorry, I'm stumbling, by the way. So, I'd rather skip it or watch the first 2 matches of the show. That is Conan versus Eddie Guerrero for the United States title and Regal versus Finlay. Besides that, skip the rest of the matches, man. Like the Colonel Robert Parker versus Medusa, Booty Man versus DDP, Giant versus Loch Ness, Sting and Booker T versus Road Warriors in a Chicago street fight. Because why they did it? Because it was maybe, yeah, if Luger was there, you know, would it make the match better? You know, I said in my Nitro reviews that Luger's booking in that timeline, you know, is so inconsistent. You know, he's not really a part of the Dungeon of Doom. What's the point turning heel at Halloween Havoc in 1995? I don't get it. So, you know, a Chicago street fight in Tupelo, Mississippi, whatever, and the Doomsday Cage match is a dud. Wow. Uncensored 1996. I regret watching that. So, anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of WCW Uncensored 1996. Leave your thoughts on the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the channel, be part of the central unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, you know, I'm changing my format of this segment. You know, I'll do once every 2 weeks, and the classic WWE pay-per-view review segments will be every week. So in 2 weeks' time, I'm gonna review another uncensored show. So hope the next uncensored show I review will be better, because in this segment I review some bad uncensored shows, like the first uncensored show from '95, and the last one in WCW 2000, and this show from 1996. So let's travel 3 years in the future. I'm going to review Uncensored 1999. This is Centuryman officially signing out. Check you later.